Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club. In your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL. Right here in your backyard.
Serious Group Newcastle Eagles live in the ENBL.
Brought to you by
Serious Group and Newcastle International Airport.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Virtue Motors Arena, Newcastle, for tonight's European North Basketball League Group B final game between the visitors ZASTAL ZIELONA GORA from Poland and the Serious Group Newcastle Eagles. The Newcastle Eagles have already qualified for the next round, but they still would like to win this game because that will depend on who they play in the next round. For GORA, it's a no-lose game. They must win to qualify, lose and they're out. As ever, alongside me, I've got Dave Alderkin, my co-commentator. Dave, just a brief intro before we go to the coach's interview.
Yes, as you've said, this is the final game tonight. It's something that's been a long time coming for the franchise as Newcastle. Looking back in the good old days, the start of the franchise in Sunderland, it was a pleasure to be able to play 16 games in European competition between 78 and 91. And I thought that was a great, valuable experience in the building of the club. And I hope that's what the current organisation feel, and this will be not the last European, but the first in many. And of course, there is more to come this season with the playoffs.
Absolutely. And as I said before the game, I managed to catch up with the Serious Group Newcastle Eagles head coach Mark Steutel and got his pre-game thoughts on tonight. Okay, Mark Steutel, last European North Basketball League group game. Strange position to be in, having already qualified.
Not strange, positive position, I would say. I think it's a positive position for us. I think when we started out in the campaign, we wanted to make the playoffs and then take every game from there. So the fact that we've achieved that's positive. But I know my group, and my group are competitive, and we want to give a good showing tonight. We think this team is a really interesting team, an exciting team that we're playing against. They have a lot of weapons. They are, really athletic. They use their size really well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, and one that we hope we can get the right outcome.
And obviously, as you say, if you win, you get a better seeding. They have to win, though, so that's going to be a really hard, pressurised game from them.
Yeah, I think so, and there's a psychological element for that for them for sure. They had a tough league game on Sunday and a quick 48-hour turnaround for them, so there's that element of it as well. We obviously in the middle of a heavy schedule, and we know that we have to get through tonight and then all eyes on Friday for the British Basketball League. So there's a few psychological considerations for sure, but we know we're playing a good team. We're a good team. Again, I keep talking about it being a game of styles in Europe. If we can make them play our style, we like our chances.
And have you got any preferences for where you would like to go in the next round?
Yeah, I want to win the game tonight and see what happens. I think we understand there's a range of different permutations. Essentially, we finish third or fourth. We know that what's most likely. We just want to win the basketball game tonight. Keep building our brand of basketball. Keep being the best team that we can be, and then get excited for the ENBL playoffs.
Any team news?
Yeah, close to a full roster. Yeah, decided to rest Darius, and I think that's the right decision based on the load that he's had on him. So it's just a precautionary measure with him. But other than that, full roster.
Thanks very much, Mark.
Thank you.
So there you have Mark Steutel's thoughts on tonight's game, saying his group is a very competitive group. They don't want to lose any games, and every game's important. He mentioned that he has no preference about which team he plays in the next round, but obviously we now know, because Bakken Bears have just lost at home to Landstad Zwolle of Holland, which means Bakken finished second in the group and Juventus of Lithuania win the group. So if the Eagles were to win tonight, they would finish third in the group and they would go to Denmark and play Bakken. If they lose, they will finish fourth in the group and have to play Juventus of Lithuania. But if they win tonight, that would put ZIELONA GORA out of the competition and put Liège back into the competition. They would finish fourth and they would play Juventus, and Eagles go to Bakken. So it's a little bit complicated, but I think we'll get there in the end. But I think what we have got here is one team who literally have to win. The other team doesn't have to win but would like to win.
Yeah, I think Newcastle want to keep their good streak that they've had recently in the British Basketball League going. Both these teams have had Newcastle be a little bit inconsistent, but they've still fared considerably better in their league than the Polish team. So you would like to think that with the home record already 1-0, that great win previously earlier this season, you would like to think that the Eagles are perfectly capable of taking this game tonight. Yeah,
and we're just getting the Polish team have just been introduced to the crowd. Not the biggest of crowds tonight, I have to say, but it is a Tuesday night, it is a school night, so it is difficult sometimes to get a big crowd in, but I'm sure those that are here are going to enjoy this game and will make plenty noise. We can now have a look at, I believe, we can have a look at the rosters for both teams. A little bit of a surprise in the Eagles one, but we'll get to that once we get the graphics up and we can have a look here. So here we've got, first of all, the Polish roster. One of the surprises in there is, he's actually not listed on there. It's number 33, AJ English, who only signed at the beginning of this month in February, I believe is playing tonight. And on there, number 8, Novak Music, I believe is actually out of tonight. The rest is absolutely correct. Point guard number 0, James Washington, 36-year-old, very, very experienced. And the best scorer in this competition has been number 25, Jan Wojcik. He's averaging nearly 18 points a game. But domestically, the guy to watch is number 4, Darius Hall. For the Eagles, that's the full roster, but I do know the Eagles were hoping to be at full strength tonight, but Mark Steutel has decided to rest captain Darius Defoe. Darius Defoe's had a very, very heavy workload, whilst the Eagles have been under pressure and under strength through a lot of injuries. So Darius Defoe will not be suiting up tonight, but Will Neighbour, who's been out for a couple of months now, he is back and is hoping to play some minutes tonight. So again, a very strong roster. Devin Whitfield also back in the roster. He's only just returned from injury, but it is, as Taj Green said to me, it's the three-headed snake that ZIELONA GORA are going to have to worry about, and that's the guards. Number 0, Ricky McGill, number 1, Larry Austin Jr., and number 11, Jordan Johnson.
Well, these guards have been a handful right from the start of the season. Two of them have got great shooting strength in Ricky McGill and Johnson. Larry Austin Jr. has knocked down the odd shot, but he's much better known for his ability to go coast to coast. Tries to do it about 100 miles an hour, and he's very successful at getting to the basket. But also, I think the forwards, obviously, saying Darius Defoe hasn't gone. Perhaps that will give him an opportunity to get Will Neighbour a few minutes, possibly Whitfield, and certainly Spencer as well. They need some more minutes. So it'll be a good tonight if the people who've been missing court time can actually get some good minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Dave, because the other thing as well is obviously Darius Defoe is well known for anchoring the Eagles' defence, so it's going to be interesting to see how they defend against a team that can score points. You mentioned before that this Polish team has struggled domestically, but in this competition they are 4-2, and they are the team who beat the Lithuanian team, Surely, who have actually won the group. They surely only lost the one game, and it was in ZIELONA, GORA early in the season, so they obviously have got a pedigree.
Well, it suggests, doesn't it, that they've not necessarily had a consistency in terms of the roster, and not particularly as if a new player's just come in. Does he know the players yet? Does he know his teammates? It's a fascinating prospect tonight, but these European Championship games are massive in club development. You would hope that the Eagles will actually really desperately want to win this. They should do, because they've played some really good games in the British Basketball League this year and let themselves down on occasions, and they certainly don't want that to happen tonight.
So we have got, we've still got nearly 4 minutes to the tip-off, but it is interesting to see that not only does English play, and he only played his first game for ZIELONA GORA on Sunday. It was a very narrow league defeat, 99-95. He played 21 minutes and scored 11 points. And I was in a little bit of a panic, if I'm honest, because I hadn't included him in my programme notes because he hadn't played any games at all. So just to point out, he's an very, very experienced player. He graduated from Iona College in 2016, and he's played right across Europe. He's played Germany, France, Italy, Greece, and he's also played in Poland before, about 4 years ago, and he's also played in Iraq and the Dominican Republic, so he's certainly got a lot of experience.
Well, he's a veteran and he's well travelled. He's what you call a journeyman, I think.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that goes as well for the leader, the point guard, James Washington. The point guard who's not playing tonight is interesting, Novak Music. He's actually was leading the team in assists with 6.6 assists a game. He's not playing tonight, so I'm expecting James Washington to take a lot of the load at the point guard position. 6-foot point guard, 36-year-old now. He's averaging in this competition 11.2 points, 2.6 rebounds and 4.6 assists, and he will start tonight. The starters are for ZIELONA GORA, or number 0, James Washington. Excuse me, number 22, which is Mikhail Kolodzai, number 25, Jan Wojcik, number 33, AJ English, and number 41, Alexander Lewandowski. Interesting Wojcik, I think is a very interesting one, Dave, because he's a 6'9" centre or power forward, and in this competition he's actually averaging 18.3 points a game. But domestically in the league, he's only averaging 6 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, I was as their team was introduced, I was thinking that no Darius Defoe tonight. He's obviously always plays such an important part in the Eagles' defence, particularly protecting the rim, protecting the key. I'm just wondering whether, if Neighbour is fit enough, that would help, because when you look at, they've got a bit of height on their team, a 6'11" guy, 6'9", 6'8", and Neighbour obviously 6'11", and Whitfield and Spencer are probably just small forwards rather than big forwards, so a lot could depend tonight on Delpech.
Yeah, and Malcolm Delpech actually is in the Eagles starting 5. The Eagles start with number 0, Ricky McGill, number 1, Larry Austin Jr., number 11, Jordan Johnson, number 22, Malcolm Delpech, and number 55, Taj Green. The captain for the Eagles tonight, first time he's ever captained the side, I believe, is Josh Ward-Hibbert, who just received a call up to the Great Britain 24 today. He will be hoping to push into that first 12, because the first European basketball, or the Eurobasket qualified game, is here at the Virtual Motors Arena against the Netherlands in a week or so's time.
Well, thinking of tonight's game, I mean, Delpech for me has had some decent minutes at both ends of the court. I think he's probably a player you could say has improved offensively. He's finishing around the rim at times. You know, he trails a lot of players very well. He's had more than one alley-oop dunk, and he takes them with ease, but he's going to be called into the defensive end. But you've just mentioned Josh Ward-Hibbert. To me, he's one of these X-Factor players. He's a guard, he's a big guard or is he a small forward? Because he can defend players much bigger than himself.
Now our referees tonight, the two English referees, and well, no, let's do it properly. We have a female referee, Paulina Gadosz from Poland, and the two British referees. The crew chief is Ian MacDonald, and the local guy, John Paul Heron, who is obviously from Newcastle. The other one I just want to mention very quickly, I was expecting Grigor Rakosevic to play tonight, the Montenegrin international, but he is also not listed as playing. So again, somebody that the Eagles were probably worried about height-wise, but we're about to go. MacDonald into the middle, Wojciech against Green, Wojciech wins it, and he gives the ball to the number 22, who is Kolodzai. It's into Washington's hands early. He has Kolodzai. AJ English thought about a three, but didn't shoot it. Now uses a screen of Wojciech, throws it in, but a good hand by Malcolm Delpeche, and the Eagles break the first offence up and are off and running with Johnson giving it to McGill. Ricky McGill has been in fantastic form in recent weeks for the Eagles. Finds Jordan Johnson into the corner. Larry Austin has gone inside, and it's going to be a foul called on 41, Alexander Lewandowski.
I think it's important to say that the three-man crew tonight, you mentioned local boy John Paul Heron, and we can say a little bit more than that, because John Paul Heron played for this franchise when it was Sunderland. He also played for this franchise when it was Newcastle. So we've actually got an ex-player officiating tonight's game, his own team he played for.
And there's the first basket of the night. It's a Taj Green special three-point shot, and it goes in.
Well, everybody talks about Taj Green's ability to run the floor, finish off things in transition, take offensive rebound, put them back. But I tell you what, he's knocked down a few threes this season.
And there's an interesting development straight away. I did mention that AJ English hadn't appeared on me, well, almost hadn't appeared on my radar. He's actually just limped off the court and looks in a lot of pain, and he's gone right to the end of the bench to see the physio as Wojciech gets inside and lays it in. So the number 77, Waranecki, he's on in place of AJ English.
Well, certainly without the 6'11 guy, Rakosevic, Wojciech is the one person with real height in this team, and he's showed his ability to use that right at the start of the game.
Unfortunately, his height has cost him as he's gone for a rebound behind. He's held onto Larry Austin Jr., I believe, and it's called a foul. So that's 2 fouls on the Polish side so far. He has Jordan Johnson from the corner, that's in and out. Kolodzai takes the rebound, gives it straight to Washington, who pushes hard, gives it to Lewandowski into Wojciech. He turns Malcolm Delpeche, good defense by, what a great pass from Lewandowski. Washington back out, kicks it out, the inside out play, but Lewandowski's 3-point is off. Green takes the rebound, and the Eagles in the open court with Jordan Johnson, lays it in for two, 5-2 to the Eagles.
Well, we've seen the Eagles run the floor really well this year in offensive transition. That's a warning right there to the Polish team. Got to be able to get your transition defense working.
Here's Kolodzai going to the basket. Nice step. Lays it in with his right hand. Oh, they completely lost Taj Green there. I'm not sure what happened. They're all looking at each other. But Ricky McGill's passed down Taj Green in acres of space, and he slams it home.
I think that's serious enough for the David Dedek, the Polish coach, to be thinking about an early timeout, because you simply cannot give the Eagles that opportunity to run transition like that.
Here's Kolodzai for three. It's in and out. Music does well. Sorry, get this up right. I've said Music twice now. It's Wojciech. I must remember it's Wojciech. Number 25, Jan Wojciech. He got up there well there to push that ball away. It's been a fairly intense start. Waranecki to Washington. Washington turns the corner, and he finds Wojciech for the alley-oop, and it's two more to Wojciech.
Yeah. Wojciech and Kaledzi certainly playing to their height and giving the Eagles some problem inside the key.
Foul is on 0, James Washington, as Ricky McGill drove towards the basket. Giving us a hand check.
Of course, we're more used to Lewandowski putting the ball in the back of the net, aren't we, than a basketball net?
Yes, well, I did check. He isn't related to Robert Lewandowski. At least from what I could find, he wasn't related. I'm sure somebody will tell us differently if he is. Step back 3 by Johnson is no good. Rebound taken by Lewandowski.
I thought Veronic there did a great job closing down Jordan Johnson. That's one way to create some space, and I think that's going to be called defensive, even though it looked like an offensive charge from here.
Yeah, it has been called on Jordan Johnson. And even Jordan Johnson must have thought it was a foul. His hand was up almost before it was signalled.
Yeah, I mean, Taj Green refers to this three-headed snake. Well, we know you're all talking about the three guards here who've been a nightmare for other teams to guard all season. But one thing that's helped other teams is the ability of these three to get into foul trouble. I mean, Johnson's had a couple of games, hasn't he, where he was very limited minutes because of foul trouble.
Kalodzai on the lane makes the first. Misses the second, and Taj Green takes it uncontested. 7-7, 6:55 to go in the first. Johnson attacks the Polish basket. Doesn't get a foul call. Eagles get 3 offensive rebounds and miss 3 putbacks. And eventually Wojciech comes away with it. Larry Austin almost steals it. Washington recovers.
Yeah, quick hands there from Larry Austin. Can't show him a loose ball. That has to be a charge.
Yeah, well, it couldn't be anything else really, could it? I think all 3 referees all called that, as well as us two up here watching. Offensive foul for Jan Wojciech. Do you want to give a shout out to Marcin from Kettering in Northamptonshire, who has driven up for 4 hours to this game and is possibly the only ZIELONA GORA fan in the building. Really nice guy, met him before the game, and I promised him I would give him a shout out. ZIELONA GORA is his actual hometown in Poland, and that's why he's here tonight. Larry Austin from the corner is no good. Wojciech takes the rebound.
Well, these guards, 3 guards, have been known for the penetration that they've been doing all season long, but that was great ball movement between the 3 of them.
Eagles getting a few steals in here, and that's Taj Green picks it all up, gives it to Johnson. Johnson finds Austin Jr. on the look.
Well,
and he put the Eagles back in front.
I thought that our visitors had settled down a little bit and just got to grips with that transition game, but that's not the case at all. They're just letting the Eagles break. Nobody's in the backcourt marshing them. No communication at all on their transition defence.
There's the replay. 2 easy passes. Larry Austin Jr. lays it in for 2. Washington calling the plays as we thought he would be. He's going to attack the basket. That's a nice play by him, but he can't make the shot. Gets his own rebound, but misses his putback. Ricky McGill in the open court. Oh, it's been called as an offensive foul. And judging by Mark Steutel, head coach of the Newcastle Eagles, his reaction.
We're going to be in a position. Well, that's interesting because Ricky McGill drove straight into him, but the guy let his feet lead the ground. That's a tough call.
Tough call or not, it's in the book, and it's a foul on McGill.
That's the only thing that matters is how the referee called it.
Yeah. Washington. Oh, nice pass out. Kalodzai attacks the basket, but Taj Green's defence is excellent once again.
Yeah. All 3 officials seem to see that was a clean block. So you put that down to really good defence from Taj Green. Good footwork, got him in the right position.
Washington from the end line. Lewandowski for 3, and that's in.
Well, he's as lethal as his namesake is from the penalty spot, isn't he?
Except he gets his 3 in one go rather than. There's Green, McGill, nice shake and bake. 2-point shot is no good. Eagles shooting percentage not great early on. Kalodzai getting through a lot of work for the Poles. Ball movement. Oh, what a great no-look pass by Gornecki to Kolodzai, and Kolodzai lays it in, and it's gone from 9-7 to 9-12, and Mark Steutel wants to talk it over.
That's a very, very, very well timed timeout, because initially we thought that they perhaps needed the early timeout because they simply weren't getting to grips at all with the transition offense from the Eagles. But right now their ball movement is causing the Eagles problems. Could see some contrasting styles tonight. A lot of dribble drive attempts from the Eagles to create things, and obviously a lot of good ball movement from Polish team.
Yeah, and I've just seen the replay of that one, and it was an absolutely beautiful no-look pass from outside the three-point line by Gornecki to Kolodzai, and Kolodzai laid it up. And I think Kolodzai's been very, very active early on. He's got 5 points and 2 rebounds already in the game, and he leads the Polish scorers, and he's got 5 of their 12.
I mean, the Eagles have 3 players who are very good at driving to the basket. One of the strengths of that is if you've got players who are good at driving to the basket, you've also got players who can create good 3-point opportunities. Those good 3-point opportunities in reverse also create good driving opportunities.
And we did also wonder about the Eagles' interior defence. Obviously, Taj Green's made a couple of good defensive plays, but virtually all of the Polish, apart from that, the Lewandowski 3, the other 9 points have all come inside.
Yeah, well, I was hoping that that Del Pesh would take off the mantle of Darius Defoe and be that anchor man inside. I mean, Neighbour's got the height, but he has no minutes behind him for, what was it, the last 2 months you said?
Yeah, I think it was the early December when he played his last game, I seem to remember. It's funny they've been out so long, and the Eagles have played so many games, it's hard to keep up at times. And obviously the Eagles played, both these sides played in the league on Sunday. The difference is that the Eagles were travelling back from Manchester, where ZIELONA GORA have had to travel from Poland.
Yeah, I thought the 2 Polish guards there did a good job on the 2 Eagle point guards, because they're not the easiest point guards, and off guards are not the easiest people to defend in this league.
So yes, a good defence from ZIELONA GORA. There's Lewandowski, Gornecki into Wojciech. He waits for Washington. Washington's going to give it back to Wojciech. And I think that was a good play by Taj Green from behind. Just got a touch on that ball and stopped it from going in. Jordan Johnson, lovely feed, and Taj Green slams it home. Well, get the Eagles back to within 1.
Taj Green is showing them what should have happened at the other end.
Very, very active as usual. Taj Green at both ends of the court.
Yeah, the setup play in the last offense was very good for the Polish team, but the finish wasn't. Now that's
this
more like it.
Yeah, that one was.
This time he got it right.
Washington to Wojciech, 2 points, 14-11. Green thought about the 3, he's turned inside and he's laid it off, and well, it's Slam City.
It is slam dunking show at the minute.
Yeah, the last 3 baskets all have been superb finishes by 2 from the Eagles, 1 from GORA. Kolodzai is going to drive inside, kicks it out. Gornecki for 3, and he's made his 3.
Well, I'm not saying this is a total surprise, but when I've been reading about their league form and everything else, and the fact that they haven't got the greatest record in here, I'm surprised by how well they're playing at the moment.
Particularly as they are without a couple of players. And there's another ball. Oh, that's a great block from Wojciech on Malcolm Del Pesh. They're in the open court. He has Lewandowski for 3. He's just off. And Dave's just mentioned the league form for ZIELONA GORA. They're only 5-16 in the league and are second bottom of the league. Rocky McGill there drives in for 2.
That's probably the worst breakdown defensively since the early ones on defending transition. That was very poor defense.
Pretty fast pace, not the highest scoring game, but pretty fast pace. 15-16 in favour of ZIELONA GORA. Kolodzai once again active inside and lays it in for 2.
There's a kind of a veteran smart look about this team.
Well, looking at the average age, they have got 1 or 2 juniors in the roster, but none of those are here tonight. And bearing in mind they've got 2 Americans sitting on the bench who haven't even played at all yet. In Darius Hall, who averages 15 points both in Europe and domestically. But there's a great drive by Jordan Johnson along the baseline, lays it in for 2. Here we go, and it was fouled by Lewandowski in the act of doing that, so he's got the line for an extra 2.
Well.
And just as we mention it,
Yeah.
we get AJ English has come back, so that's good to see, because he looked in a lot of pain when he went off. And we've got...
Well, you asked for an American presence, Jeffy, you now got 3.
Yeah, Jarian Horn, number 7, and number 4, Darius Hall. So all 4 Americans on the floor for the Polish side. Devin Whitfield comes on for Jordan Johnson. Scott Spencer is also on for Larry Austin Jr. and Will Neighbour on for Malcolm Delpesh. So the Eagles going to their bench as well.
Well, could certainly do with a bit of rim protection and interior defence from Delpesh.
Washington. English comes out.
I think Stute was recognised for what's needed here in taking guards out and put some more forwards on the floor.
Darius Hall is short with his first shot. Whitfield almost gets the rebound, and a great save by Ricky McGill off Devin Whitfield's tip. It's Will Neighbour. Well, that way downtown. That is his shot, but obviously hasn't shot it for 2 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been limited in what he can do in the last few months, but one thing he will have been doing is practicing shooting. Won't take him long to warm it up.
Nice ball movement again by ZIELONA GORA, but Washington's left-handed 3 from the corner is no good. Josh Ward-Hibbert takes the rebound. We're tied at 18 inside the last minute of the first quarter.
Yeah, nice little run here from the Eagles to tie the game up.
Ricky McGill to Scott Spencer into the low block with Will Neighbour. 2 seconds left. The fade away from Neighbour is excellent and in. Turn around, fade away jump shot, puts the Eagles back in front at 20-18.
Yeah, good time for Neighbour to be in because his height will cause problems. Not only that, if they lay off him, you know he can stretch the defence.
Jarian up there. There's another great. Was that 2? Yeah, it was 2 from Hall.
Yeah, and that's a lot better than the earlier shot he took.
Yeah. Jarian Hall, also another interesting player for ZIELONA GORA. He only arrived in January. He's played 2 games in this league and averaging 8.5 points in those 2 games. And Ricky McGill has the ball stolen. And that will be all she wrote for the first quarter. And we are where we were to begin, level. Only both teams have scored 20 points.
That's probably about the right situation. We started the game, it looked like the Eagles are going to run away with it. Breaking away in transition. Polish defence completely disorganised against defending transition. Nobody jamming the rebounds, nobody knowing where the outlet ball was going and letting the Eagles run long. Then a little bit of a swing. They made some substitutions. They started to really move the ball well in offence, and that in itself was what brought them back into the game.
And as we said, I think you can see by the intensity of both teams that it doesn't matter to the Eagles that they've qualified, they still want to win this game. And as we know that ZIELONA GORA actually have to win this game. So,
well, you know, the added motivation for the Eagles is that you've got Spencer, you've got Whitfield, and you've got Neighbour, who desperately need court time and should be really hungry for this game.
Eagles have produced an excellent match day programme for tonight's game, full of information. And I have to say, obviously, that when I did some research on ZIELONA GORA, it looks a very beautiful city indeed, David. ZIELONA GORA actually translates to Green Mountain, would you believe? And the nickname of the city is the City of Wines.
Well, all I can tell you is that my wife and daughter love going to Poland for Christmas shopping.
Well, there you go then. So yeah, so it looks a really, really nice city. But then again, I guess if you're going to put pictures out of your city on the internet, you're not going to put the not necessarily nicer areas, are you? So we've got a tied ball game. Back on court now with the Eagles. The Eagles coming out with Whitfield, Austin Jr., Spencer, Ward-Hibbert, and Neighbour.
I would say that this team is a result possibly of two things. A, the coach wanting some of these players to get some minutes under the belt before the return to league action, and B, is probably more equipped to deal with the type of offence that our visitors are playing.
And at the start of the second quarter, we see the Polish captain Paweł Kikowski on for the first time. Foul is on 25, Jan Wojciech, so that will be his third foul. Or is it his? Yeah, his third foul.
Yeah.
And so he has got off. And Kolodzai, who probably thought he was going to get a bit of a rest, is back on.
Yeah, well, you know, they've only got 6 fouls and he's got 3 of them. And I thought he was making a useful contribution in offence as well. That could be a benefit to the Eagles.
Roddy Austin Jr. trying to go against Kolodzai, and Kolodzai, who's had to come on, has now picked up a foul. Polish coach. I say Polish coach, he's actually from Slovenia, isn't he, David Deck?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you get beaten in that situation and you've got to realise that person who just beat you is no longer your problem. And the Eagles were sending overheat help defence. He chased down and fouled the man who'd just beaten him. Wasn't the best decision he made all night. His job, if he's beaten, is to rotate to somewhere where there's going to be an open man.
Larios Jr. misses the first. Makes the second. First point of the second period. AJ English, well, this is a big call, isn't it, really, David? Only played one game, which is on Sunday for this club, and he's now running the point. Finds Kikowski in the corner, and that's a great 3. Took his time, settled himself down, picked his spot, and banged it.
Well, traditionally, Eastern Europeans have always been good 3-point shooters.
Speaking of good 3-point shooters, that's where Will Neighbour has made his name virtually all his career, from way downtown, and he replies.
And I don't think he has any relation with Eastern Europe.
He almost shoots it from Eastern Europe, even at home. Shoots it from so far out. Kikowski to AJ English, back to Kikowski. English goes for the 3, and he nets his triple as well.
This game is now lighting up nicely.
Well, it was raining. It was slam dunks in the first quarter. It's raining 3s in the second. Austin Jr. back out to Will Neighbour. This time he turns it down originally, then decides, well, I'll shoot it now, and he's up to 8 points personal. Not a bad comeback indeed.
Yeah, well, I've been away a long time, but I've really been practicing on my shooting.
So Eagles up by 1. English trying to reply, and does reply. He looks like he could be a very clean shooter.
He's played pretty much everywhere. That was a real veteran's move.
That's another foul by Kikowski.
Yeah, you know, but you look at the board now, fouling could be an issue here because they're starting to light up the right-hand side of the board. The Eagles have only got 2 defences in 12 minutes of fouls in 12 minutes of basketball.
I guess it must be difficult as well, Dave, when you've got good experience of this. When you go to a different country and you have different referees, they call the game differently.
Definitely, I mean, everybody says we call the game differently over here, that we blow the whistle far more than they do on the continent.
Now, I don't want to give this away, but I'll talk about it in a second. Jordan Johnson going against Kolodzai. Will Neighbour, well, he's lost that one. Oh, he's done well to get us back, though. Great work by Neighbour, but he's given it away again. English tries to find Kolodzai, but it hits her. I was watching the Duke Wake Forest game. I haven't watched it all, and I don't know the score, so please don't tell me. And I thought that was almost like an organised rugby game, the way the referees were in the game.
NCAA Division 1 this year is very, very much physical than it's been in the past.
Yeah.
But back to here, I don't think you should be complaining about these calls, because a lot of them have been made by the Polish referee.
Well, Dave said that because I can't pronounce the surname. It's Gedouch, I think. Paulina. Whitfield into Neighbour. He feels he's being held.
I think that's good defence. hands on.
Great offense as well.
Allowed that bar arm, he did it smart. But in the end, that was just better offense from Neighbour.
Well, Neighbour, 10 points from the bench. Puts the Eagles back up by 1, 29-28. It's a humdinger of a game, this one. He has English, that one's off. Spencer takes his rebound, gives it to Johnson. Johnson is going to drive at the basket, gives it to Ward Hibbert. He goes along the baseline, but he can't make his layup. Thought he was fouled. He has Hall, and that well. Devin Whitfield. This is going to be interesting. I think the referees may talk about this. They may even go. We know in these European games they can have a look at the screen. I don't know if I think I may just have missed the replay because the way Whitfield, it's been called as
I mean, to me, there was no question in my mind that was Whitfield's foul.
Yeah.
And I knew the moment those two officials came together, they were going to discuss was it unsportsmanlike.
They didn't even need to go to they both obviously agree that it was unsportsmanlike. And I think, to be fair, Dave, from what I saw, probably a great call.
Yeah, and our lead official tonight's been fairly quiet, hasn't he?
He has, yes. Hall misses the first shot. .7:01 to go. He needs this. Darius Hall. It's Darius, not Darius. But so I'm led to believe. And this is the pair. Slaps his chest and says sorry to his teammates. Lewandowski's come back on for Kalodzai. Hall with the ball. Lewandowski lays it off to English. English looking to go inside. Kicks out. Kowski. Turnaround jump shot. Well, I was going to say if that went in, that was a really fantastic shot.
Degree of difficulty there was ridiculous.
Yeah. Josh Ward Hibbert for three. And the Eagles captain nets his triple. And it's going to be a timeout for ZIELONA GORA with the score at Newcastle Eagles 32, ZIELONA GORA 28.
You know, more and more times this season you're seeing threes being taken out of transition. But the biggest development in basketball this season, and I started to notice it first in what you mentioned a little while ago, the NCAA. And in the NCAA now, it's clearly led by all the coaches. The best time to find a three-point shooter is after you take an offensive rebound.
Yeah, and because like you can just the defense is sort of
well, you know,
a little bit, isn't it? Well,
think about the NCAA Division 1. There's some great shot blockers in that room. So you take an offensive rebound, you're likely to have it shoved back down you. But nobody's looking out on the perimeter players.
So we have 6:37 to go in this crucial Group B European North Basketball League game. The serious group Newcastle Eagles lead 32-28. And ZIELONA GORA nowhere. Now, it's interesting because the game we just watched before this, back in Bears versus Lancet Zwolle of Holland, it was 32-28, I believe, in that game, and that was 5 minutes into the third quarter.
Well, you know, my take on this game halfway through the second quarter is I've been quite impressed with ZIELONA GORA offensively, but not as impressed with the defence. I think they've had too many breakdowns in defence. That early one's defending transition, problems when somebody gets beaten, there's not enough rotation, it's not done quick enough, and the person who's got beaten often just chases the ball instead of rotating to find another man.
Coach Derek is taking a bit of a chance here. He's put Wojciech back into the game. Oh, that's a long three from AJ English, and he looks as if he's ready to light things up today. Well, Wojciech back in on 3 fouls.
Well, what you got to remember there, Jeff, is if they lose this game, where are they going?
Nowhere.
That's right. So he's prepared to take gambles. You know, if the player is a smart player, he'll be able to play on 3 fouls for the rest of this half.
Kikowski who intercepted the pass and just tapped away. Josh Ward Hibbert comes off and Taj Green comes back on. Good stint by Josh Ward Hibbert. Scott Spencer has also come off for Devin Whitfield. Sorry, Ricky McGill, I believe, yeah. Johnson, shaking and baking, steps back free, doesn't make it. Devin Whitfield knew immediately that was off and hunted the rebound down, did really well. Great
chasing down by Whitfield, but he's also very, very mobile without the ball, Whitfield. Like that play of his a lot.
Oh, wow. Wow, double pump.
Oh, my goodness, we know where the hot hand is tonight.
Double pumping from Will Neighbour, and he knocks another 3 down. He's up to 13 points personal. Eagles lead by 4. Is English going to reply with a 3? Well, no, he's not, but Darius Hall might. Nope, too hard. Ricky McGill soars for the rebound. Neighbour, wow, crowd urging him to shoot. Johnson gives it to Green, and he'll shoot the 3 instead. That's off. Whitfield can't get the rebound in front of English, who's off to the races. Gives it to Kowalski, and that's another 3 reined in.
Well, you love players who've got catch and shoot skills like that. He didn't even think about it. He knew the space was there. He knew he was in transition, but he didn't care. He just wanted to fire that one off.
Kowalski for 3. Will Neighbour. Oh, he's missed one.
That assist deserved conversion. Really smart pass by McGill.
There's Wojciech going at Neighbour. Turn around shot off the window for 2. And that puts ZIELONA GORA back in front at 36.
Well, you can see why his wrist bringing Wojciech back, haven't you?
Foul is by Kowalski. Will Neighbour gets a seat, and he gets a tremendous ovation from the crowd, and hardly surprising.
So,
13 points on 5 of 7 shooting.
Yeah, you keep mentioning fouls. It's actually 9 to the visitors and 3 to the home team.
They are in the penalty, and there's 4:25 to go. Ricky McGill's pass inside, and that's another one of those defensive breakdowns in the middle there.
Yeah, their offense is the thing that's keeping him in this game.
English, he's looked impressive since he come back on. He has Hall, he'll attack the basket, and it's going to be given as a block, so it'll be an and 1 as Hall puts the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I think the calls for a charge there were pretty futile. That was a really smart offensive move.
Yeah, he went sort of between the two, didn't he? And good step. Laid it in. As I say, this guy Darius Hall, he's averaging not just 15 points in this European North Basketball League, but also 15 points domestically as well. And they may have changed other Americans, but they certainly haven't changed this fella.
Yeah, that makes it even more interesting as to why the coach brought him off the bench, unless he wanted impact from the bench.
Johnson has lost that ball. Vucic, superb slam. So Johnson lost it. Vucic picked it up, he gave it to Hall, and Hall slammed it tomahawk style home, and that's put the Polish side in front by 4 points, so the English side will take a timeout.
And it's a rare ball handling mistake from Johnson, because he's normally very, very comfortable with the ball in either hand, normally very, very comfortable at creating space for himself to dish off passes or put up shots or set up himself for a drive to the basket. That was really uncharacteristic of him.
There we see it on replay, he's just kind of take an extra step. Great finish though by Darius Hall. And he really enjoyed that as well, looking by his face. 3:51 to go, 37-41.
I mean, it's not long ago we were just saying, I was saying their offense is better than the defense. Their offense really is helping them to pull away in this game. So you now have to look to the other end of the floor. The coach with a few more problems is Steutel, because their ball movement is creating situations that the Newcastle defence is not happy with, and he's not got enough ball movement from his team, because they're defending the dribble drive quite well.
At the moment, just a quick look at some of the scores. I mean, obviously we're bringing more stats at half time, but not surprisingly, it's Will Neighbour with 13 points who leads the Eagles. Taj Green has 7 points, and for ZIELONA GORA, it is they have 2 players on 8 points. Jan Wojciech and AJ English both have 8 points, and Marcin Koledzy has 7. Johnson brings it up for the Eagles, gives it to Whitfield. Here's Delpesh waiting for McGill. McGill takes it off him. Oh, wow. How did Ricky McGill get through that gap?
Well, he split the defence brilliantly. I mean, he got his head and shoulders through, and obviously they're conscious that they're in the penalty.
Didn't reach out, did they? And
yeah.
Taj Green for 3 is good.
Taj, to me, Jeff, seems much more of a threat from beyond the arc than he was when he was at the Giants.
Done well down in Saul to keep that one in. Walks round the Eagles. Lewandowski's attacking the basket, and that's a foul by Devin Whitfield. Lewandowski will go up the line to shoot 2. Mark Steutel was on the court there, and I don't think it was at the. No, it wasn't. It wasn't at the referees. I think he was having to go at his own player, Ricky McGill.
Well, that's good officiating in the sense that he's miles outside of his box. She could quite easily have teed him up, but she was very calm, just persuaded him to go back into his box and get on with the game. So I was saying, wasn't it, there's some veteran smarts about their team. They certainly know what to do when they take an offensive rebound if there's no easy putback, and that's what created this situation.
Yeah, actually Steutel, I think, was complaining. Not the greatest lip reader in the world, but on the replay there, he definitely said he should call the offensive foul. Well, Derek, the coach, thought it was definitely their ball at the end line after.
He was absolutely certain. Unfortunately for him, 3 officials were more certain the other way.
And Lewandowski, after missed the second free throw, takes a seat on the bench. Kikowski comes and blocks off the pass to Johnson, so McGill takes it.
Whereas their defensive weak on the ball, it's pretty strong off the ball. But most of the breakdowns are coming from players getting beaten on ball defense.
Delpesh goes hard. Oh, we have one of them strange situations where the ball gets jammed between the basket and the backboard, and it's a ZIELONA GORA ball.
Yeah, luck was with them. The arrow's theirs.
I think perhaps Malcolm Delpesh could have probably gone off first time with that, but planted the ball. Yeah, that's an offensive foul. You can't do that. You really can't do that. I don't care what league you play in. Hand in the face of Ricky McGill from Kolodzai. Yep, you see it there on replay. Now Kolodzai, I believe, is now on 3 fouls. No, it's just his second. But like Dave said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 fouls against 5. Well, that's because the Eagles know McDonald and Heron, I don't know, but here's McGill from the sideline.
That was excellent defense. Why would you foul somebody in his own half when he's miles away from the hoop? No easy passes on. That's a gift for their team and puts the Eagles one from the charity strike for them. That was not the smartest of fouls. I can see what McGill and Josh Ward-Hibbert are trying to do. They're trying to take them out of setting up an easy offense. You can't do that at the expense of fouls when you're in the penalty.
Great pass from Wojciech to...
That's a tremendous finish.
Yeah, and a great drive and finish to reply by Ricky McGill.
Going up against a much taller player, that was an absolutely superb finish.
AJ English bumps off Johnson.
They are being a little bit careful, aren't they, with dropping their shoulders when they're setting up drives.
Yeah, and Malcolm Delpesh. Pass from Jordan Johnson is beautifully finished by Delpesh inside. And he's fouled, and he will go to the line to shoot an extra shot.
We go to ball minus 1.
Let's have a look. Great pass over the top. Johnson goes in, and the foul by Jarion Horn. Subs flying in and out for both sides. Josh Ward-Hibbert comes back on for the Eagles. And James Washington and Marcin Gornecki is back on.
And despite all that, we're back where we started with a tied game.
Great offensive rebounding by Josh Ward-Hibbert after Delpesh misses the free throw. Johnson finds Ward-Hibbert. Ward-Hibbert for three, that's off. And it's a 4-on-2 break here. Washington out to Horn. Horn lines up the three. It's off, and the Eagles will get that ball. 1:20 left in the half. 44-44. And here comes Kolodzai back on.
I thought that was pretty good guard play from Washington, because he had options always. He had option of going all the way himself. He had options to his left. But the most difficult player to the guard was one he picked out, way trailing, way on the right-hand side. Smart play from Washington.
Jarion Horn, who hasn't been with the team long, missed that three-point shot and then immediately substituting is spending a lot of time talking to his coach, or his coach is spending a lot of time talking to him. Jordan Johnson fakes round up to the free throw line and drops in the two to put the Eagles back in front.
Again, breakdown on ball defense. You don't give Johnson those opportunities.
James Washington though replies, or doesn't reply. Delpesh did well to get a hand to it, and Taj Green tidies it up. Johnson turns Hall inside out, then he turns Gornecki inside out, but the pass to Delpesh drops it.
Turned everybody inside out, including one of his own players.
What a necky it was, who got turned inside out in the last one by Johnson. Ball through his legs. Oh, what a great steal by Taj Green, but Kolodzai comes back and steals it the other way. Again, Coach Derek cannot believe that hasn't been called as a foul.
Well, Coach Derek ought to be thinking he's lucky that wasn't called on Kolodzai.
Well, after Horn's long chat with the coach, he's back on, and Wojciech takes the seat. The Eagles up by 2, 28 seconds left on the clock as they inbounded the ball. Whether they'll hold or not, I don't know. And that's going to be a foul on Jordan Johnson for hooking.
Well, you know, you learn from your mistakes, but am I right in thinking that's quite a number of calls he's had for that particular incident this season?
He kind of turns, he almost gets away from the defender before he sort of pulls his ass off.
As I say, you know, he's got a lot he can offer to the Eagles team, but he is prone at times to foul trouble.
So possibly the last play of the half, unless they get a clear open shot. Kikowski gives it to Washington. Washington will set it up. I think he's watching the clock, letting it tick down. Tries to go through the middle, he'll not get that. Taj Green's going to attack the basket. Lays it in for two. And that gives the Eagles a 4-point lead. Washington is absolutely distraught at the other end. He felt as if he was fouled as he went between two Eagles defenders. Lost the ball as he did. He made the contact, and the Eagles picked it up, and Taj Green was able to go all the way and lay it in for two and make the half-time score 48-44 to the Serious Group Newcastle Eagles of England against ZIELONA GORA of Poland. And at the moment, it's been a really tight, interesting, exciting game.
It has been a very tight game, and I think on reflection, that 4-point lead has probably been earned by the Eagles. I was thinking that quarter would end all tied. That would have been probably right, but I think the Eagles have had the better of the last few exchanges in the dying minutes of this final first half.
Okay, so we have a 15-minute half-time break as normal, and we'll come back and we'll give you some stats when we come back. We're just watching there David Derek going up the stairs to the dressing room, and before he went, he did give the three referees a real volley and his opinion of what the officiating had been. So as I say, it's 48-44 to the home side, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes or so with some stats for you.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club. In your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard. Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club. In your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
Serious Group Newcastle Eagles live in the ENBL. Brought to you by Serious Group and Newcastle International Airport.
Welcome back to the Virtue Motors Arena as we get ready for the second half of tonight's European North Basketball League Group B match between the Serious Group Newcastle Eagles and ZASTAL ZIELONA GORA. And the score at the moment is 48-44. We're going to take you through some of the highlights of the first half. I think from these highlights there's two things. There's a lot of three-point shooting, particularly really great three-point shooting from Will Neighbour in particular. But also a lot of inside play. We did have a look at a little bit of stats. We're going to get some stats up in a minute. But Will Neighbour, considering how long he's been out, to be on 13 points personal, 5 of 7 shooting, 3 of 5 from three-point range.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much more we see of Will Neighbour in the second half, because I thought he was a real problem for them.
I think, again, it's interesting though, isn't it? Because you mentioned to me about how Eastern Europeans, they all learn to shoot, and they all can shoot from outside, so you wouldn't expect them to be that troubled by a sort of 6'10" shooter from outside.
Yeah, I mean, the three-point line came in 1985, and that year GB played Yugoslavia. We were all invited to the practices. GB had people who were banging the ball into the low post and doing turnaround shots. All the 7-footers on the Yugoslav team were practicing taking threes.
Yeah, it's always been a long problem. So there's a lot of good inside play. You know, the ZIELONA GORA did get into a little bit of foul trouble. They've managed to avoid any, and there's only one guy now, that's Jan Wojciech. He's on 3 fouls, so they've done a pretty good job of managing it after they seem to be lighting the board up early. So we've got about a minute to go. Just waiting to see whether we get some stats up here. Here we go. And in a 48-44 point game, you'd expect the stats to be ZIELONA GORA better inside, Eagles, and just outside as well. Eagles better, well, they're only 2 or 4 for free throw. Not a lot you can say there, but the Eagles 7 more rebounds. I think that's probably one of the big things. Just looking at that, anything that stands out to you there, Dave?
No, I think as you say, the stats are fairly even. I think if I'm thinking now ahead to this second game, more than anything else, we didn't see much of the three-headed snake in the first half. Yeah. What we mean by that is we didn't see those 3 guards playing together very much at all. Is that something Coach Steutel will go to in the second half? Will Coach Steutel look back on this game in the first half and think what a factor Neighbour was? And he was. It was a big problem for them because he's a tall player. They weren't closing him down very well. He's got the ability to knock down the shots. From their point of view, they're picking up more fouls. They've got some careless fouls. They've got to improve their on-ball defence. I thought their off-ball defence was pretty good.
We're back underway with Ricky McGill, Devon Whitfield, Taj Green, Malcolm Delpesh and Jordan Johnson for the Eagles. James Washington.
Who once said Taj Green can't shoot?
Well,
because he's been knocking down threes all season long. And you love forwards who can do that because they're stretching the defence. They're creating driving opportunities.
Should I give you the Polish starters this off? There's Jan Wojciech almost getting in, James Washington, Marcin Kolodzy, AJ English and Alexander Lewandowski. Taj Green, as Dave's just mentioned, well, there you go, he's missed one, Dave, he can't shoot.
Yeah, and as far as ZIELONA ZORA are concerned, their finishing hasn't matched their ball movement at the start of this second half.
Wojciech inside, Kolodzy goes inside the paint, well marked by Whitfield. AJ English is off with his shot.
Again, the build-up was good, the finish wasn't.
Jordan Johnson, I think, is going to tap the basket. Oh, well, he didn't get the ball. He kind of like stopped, was blocked. And then Devon Whitfield from way downtown knocks the three down.
I mean,
well, that was almost from the car park. And a very, very quick timeout by Derek here because all of a sudden his side is 10 points down.
Yeah, I mean, Devon Whitfield, early in the season, he was knocking down shots, wasn't he? Early in games. Always early in games. And tonight, well, it's good to see him come on. I mean, that was almost an NBA range there.
Excellent shot from Devon Whitfield to back up the previous three-point shot. 2 threes, gets him a 6-0 start and gets a timeout called by ZIELONA GORA.
Well, we can't obviously tell from here what he's saying, but I'll tell you what, he will not be impressed with the execution of his players.
Taj Green having a game as well, 15 points now and 6 rebounds. He leads all scorers in the game. And that three from Whitfield was actually the first shot he's taken. And it goes in. So he's 100%.
Probably the first shot he's taken then in about 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles have had issues, haven't they, with injuries?
Mark Steutel's trying to nurse them back. I mean, Devon Whitfield played some minutes on Friday night against Caledonian Gladiators, but he didn't play on Sunday in Manchester because Mark wanted him to play tonight.
Yeah.
And you've got to do that, haven't you?
Yeah, and tonight they're resting Darius, who many people think's the anchor to the defence and some of the inspiration behind the team. But, Eagles are safely through, but they'll want to finish third. Polish team won't want to lose because they don't want to go home. Yeah, so it's going to be a good second half.
Yeah, we'll take you through the scenario of what will happen a little bit later on as actions fast and furious. Wojciech goes to the basket. Taj Green got a little bit of a touch on it, and Malcolm Delpesh picks it up, and Jordan Johnson in pace, but he can't make it up. James Washington returns the pace at the other end, burns across. Lewandowski comes inside. Martin Delpesh goes to get the block, and it's a foul. He will go to the line to shoot 2. Now, what I was going to say is, so the scenario is this: if the Eagles were to win, they finish third in the group, and they will play Back and Bears of Denmark, which means that Royal Liège of Belgium get in as the 4th place team, and they would go to Lithuania to play Juventus. If ZIELONA GORA win, they finish third in the group, so they would play the Back and Bears, and that would send the Eagles to Lithuania to play Juventus. That's your scenario. Took me all of half time to work out how we did the
I understand Bristol are in the other half of the draw, is that right?
You were going to ask us that.
Yes, and you're going to tell us who Bristol are going to play, all right?
I am. They're going to play Surely of Lithuania because they've won Group B and Bristol finished 4th in Group A.
Well, some interesting names there. Juventus, I'm immediately thinking of Italy. Surely, I'm immediately thinking of France.
Yeah, but neither of that. Surely is Lithuania and Juventus also Lithuania. Wojciech out to Washington. Washington in the corner to Kolodzy. Back to nice ball movement again, as Dave was mentioning. But perhaps not the finishing. There you go again. Great ball movement. Nice 1-2 by Whitfield and Del Pesh off his head. And that ball's going to go out of bounds.
Well, that was a crazy moment, wasn't it?
Well, crazy moment.
Eagles player passing to a teammate who wasn't even looking at him, but he got the ball back. Suspiciously, he might have been in his own half when he made the pass. They've thrown a full-length javelin pass that was going way out of bounds.
Well, let's just say James Washington is no Patrick Mahomes. So it's Johnson settling everything down. 8-point lead for the Eagles. 7 minutes left in the third period. The Eagles looking to take this back up to 9 or even possibly 10. Taj Green goes inside, went for the big jam but didn't get it. Jarion Horn was there to help out. James Washington for 3 is no good. Wojciech, that's a foul by James Washington. He almost put his hand, he fouled him and kept his hand going up to acknowledge the fact he was going to foul.
Yeah, I mean, he took one for the team there, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wojciech's very, very active at the rebounding end, but he doesn't seem to take a lot of clean rebounds. He seems to sort of flick the ball away a lot of the time. And his colleagues have got to be aware of that because it's the Eagles who seem to be picking them up.
Yeah, I mean, this is the stage of the game, the way they've been exchanging things. Neither team has been getting the greatest of execution. You need somebody to put the foot on the ball in midfield soccer terms, which in basketball means, how about setting up an offense and getting everybody under control?
Ricky McGill fouled by James Washington. Inbounds the ball. Del Pesh almost lost it, but Johnson's picked it up.
I think Hall there got away with one. And
that's going to be a block. I think Washington felt that it was an offensive foul, but it's been given, I think quite rightly, as a block. Just looking, here's the replay. Yeah, that's got to be a block, isn't it? Johnson made the basket, and he will go to the line for the extra shot.
Yeah, I mean, 3.5 minutes into this third quarter, this is the scrappiest the game's been all night long.
But it's also probably that seems to be working in the Eagles' favour.
Absolutely, it's working in the Eagles' favour, yeah.
So here's Horn bringing it up. It's Waranecki back. Waranecki thought about the 3, decides not to shoot the 3. Horn does. I was going to say it was a 3, but he's had a foot on the line, and it's a long 2. Ricky McGill will shoot the 3. That's off. Neither Green or Del Pesh was in the right place for the rebound. Kolodzai to the other end. Swatted away by Devin Whitfield. Brilliant defensive play by Whitfield.
Absolutely outstanding defense from Whitfield.
Well, Dave says it's a bit scrappy. I think Waranecki thought he was fouled on the 3-point shot. The ball's come back. Washington has to take the 3. It was well short.
Yeah,
and the Eagles have got a 3-on-1 break. And not surprisingly, when one of those 3 is Taj Green, he's fed by McGill and he slams it home. Eagles 11 points up, 5:30 to go in the third period. And
Coach Dedek is not impressed. He's going straight to his bench, and I don't blame him for not being impressed.
Horn, a little bit late by Jarion Horn.
That was a crazy pass.
It was a crazy pass, but it was a great catch by Kolodzai to keep it in play. Now Kolodzai steps back. The 3-point shot again off. Taj Green takes the rebound. A lot of contact, but nothing called. But that one will be. Waranecki just came straight across Jordan Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3-1 up under foul columns.
Yeah, there's a McGill, no look. Taj Green slamming home. Up to 17 points personal now, I believe, yeah. Jordan Johnson. I was wondering if he's... It wasn't in the act of shooting there, but they've already picked up 3 fouls and there's 5 minutes still to go in this quarter. It's ZIELONA GORA I'm talking about who picked up the 3 fouls. Eagles just think on 1. Ricky McGill goes to the basket and drives hard and goes in off the glass.
That was way too easy a driving lane that was given to McGill there.
13 points the gap. Horn will shoot the three and makes the three. Looked a little bit reluctant to take it, but that was nice form on that shot.
I think that's one of the things, isn't it? I mean, I think their team's got the green light to take the shots. They look a bit indecisive about whether they're going to take them or not.
Travel called on Horn.
Coach is sugaring his shoulders for about the 10th time this quarter. I think he's distraught with the level of execution he's getting from his players.
Like you said, Dave, they appear to be a little bit disjointed. They're down by 10. Eagles having much the better of the second half so far. Behind the back pass from Jordan Johnson was excellent, though Delpesh couldn't quite take it in his stride. But that's great ball movement. Eventually Delpesh puts it back. It was great ball movement. Taj Green missed the chippy as far from now you would call it. But Delpesh was there with the offensive rebound and put back. 13-point gap again. 12-point the gap. Pelosi misses the shot. Taj Green really looks in the mood tonight. He has McGill going inside, and from the elbow, his 2-point isn't in. Green can't get it. Gornecki comes away with it, but the ball is good.
Yeah. I mean,
what a great pass that was. That was weapon.
It was a nice feed, but credit to the Eagles for busting back and taking away the easy passing angle from him.
So Kolozai comes off. Wojcik comes back on. End-line ball with AJ English.
They're now faced with a different problem because they've got a long-range shooter on the floor for the Eagles.
Very long-range shooter.
Neighbour back in.
Kowski was also shot some long ones. He has Horn from the corner. No, I think that was blocked by.
Definitely got a hand on that. Yeah.
It has to be because it fell so far short. Jordan Johnson for two is good. And I think, I was just going to say, David Dedek probably had to call that time out, really, even though it's his second of the half already. We're still 30 minutes ago because the Eagles are threatening to run away with this 65 to 51.
Well, your terminology, running away with it, he has no choice. There's no point keeping timeouts for a close finish when you're 14 down and not looking in any way, shape or form like stopping this Eagles offense at all. That was another breakdown in defense there that allowed that to happen. What happened to the old saying, no middle? They actually opened up the middle for Johnson to drive the basket.
Jordan Johnson doesn't need a second invitation, does he, Dave?
No.
We've seen so many times this year. That's it. He was men getting amongst the trees and felling the giants, as they say.
Yeah, as a small player, he's one of the best finishers I've seen over taller players.
Here we go. This is it.
Just absolutely wide open, that middle driving lane. Really poor on-ball defense. That's been a far bigger weakness than their off-ball defence. They often catch them in good position off the ball. They're just not doing it on the ball, which obviously is really vital if you're going to have good team defence.
Johnson's up to 12 points. He's also got 8 assists. Taj Green 17 points and 9 rebounds. And the third Eagle in double figures is Will Neighbour, who has just returned to the floor. For ZIELONA GORA, well, their top scorers are still Wojcik and English with 8 points each. They also have 3 players on 7. That's Kolozai, Darius Hall and Hall.
Well, those stats you just relieved says a boatload, doesn't it? Nobody in double figures in a match where you're going to go home if you lose. I mean, that was a very bad decision. He had an easy finish, and yet he throws a bounce pass right at the feet of an Eagles player.
It also came from their timeout, so very strange as well. Yeah. 67-51, 3 minutes to go. Horn pulls up, English pulls up for the 3. Once again, Eagles get the rebound after the miss. I think Johnson was going to go all the way, then thought better of it. He's now thinking about shooting the 3 because he's waiting to see if Taj Green gets into position. Nice lob pass by Will Neighbour, and Taj Green, I think, is stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, I think the foul was on. I think there's a foul being called. Yeah, but it was on the floor.
Yeah, he's on the floor.
So he's not.
I thought he'd stepped out of bounds.
He's not going to get shots unless they're in the penalty, which I think they are. Yes.
So it's quite interesting as well. You're looking at the ZIELONA GORA players, and they quite clearly do not. They seem a bit bemused by the call, to be perfectly honest. But Green is on the line to shoot 2. Makes the first. Captain Pavel Kikowski is talking to his compatriot, the referee, Paulina, and he's really having a go at her. Of course, they can speak the same language, I suppose. Green misses the second, but it's a push by Josh Ward-Hibbert. Taj Green comes out, gets a great round of applause, and not surprised as well, Scott Spencer comes back in. There's James Washington looking to go hurry up, but he's just bounced the ball straight off Johnson's leg. I'm not sure that would have got through to Wojcik either.
I mean, bounce passes are effective, but not when the defence is in the way of the flight of the ball.
So Washington trying to set it up again. Waranecki comes off the screen, gives it back out to Kikowski for 3. He's off, and we're going to have a foul called. This may well be on Josh Ward-Hibbert, is it? No. It's on Will Neighbour, I believe. Yeah, Will Neighbour. And the ball is in the hands of Kikowski. He finds Washington. He finds. Well, that was a nice play. And Mark Steutel liked that play so much by ZIELONA GORA. I thought, I'm going to have a timeout to talk to my team about that. It's a great pass from Washington inside to Wojcik, who turned really well and slammed it home. But the gap is 15 points. It's 68 to 53. 2 minutes 10 to go. It means that the Eagles are actually leading this quarter by 20 points to 9.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I've not been impressed at all with their execution, and some of these bounce passes they're throwing them through, trying to get them through players' legs on the Eagles' defence. There's always a body in the way.
So we'll have another quick look at the stats. Ricky McGill, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Del Pescia's 8 points, 4 rebounds, but leading the way for the Eagles. Taj Green with 18 points and 9 rebounds. Jordan Johnson 14 points and 4 rebounds and 8 assists, and Will Neighbour with 13 points. And once again, I think that basket by Wojcik, which caused Mark Steutel to call a timeout, was the first Polish player in double figures. Is Jan Wojcik. As I say, he's been averaging 18.3 points a game in this competition, and yet only averages 6 points at home in the domestic league. Obviously, different kind of style of basketball, different opposition, seems to suit him better. So the Eagles get us back on their way. Ward-Hibbert inbounding to Johnson. He could well go nearly all the way there, but he kicks it back out to Ward-Hibbert. Ward-Hibbert.
Well, that's 3 quick fouls, isn't it? Josh Ward-Hibbert has been pulled for in this quarter, and I'm not sure about 2 of them at all.
Well, that one's been called as an offensive foul using his elbow on Alexander Lewandowski, who hit the floor as if he had been. So we're going to chance to see it here.
Oh yes, clear.
Clear hand in the face. Yeah, absolutely.
My apologies to the officials. That was a good call. Well spotted by the officials.
Interestingly enough, it's only shown Ward-Hibbert on 2, and I think I agree with you that I thought that was his 3rd, but never mind. We'll see what happens. Let's go Nicky inside to Wojcik. He kicks it back out to Kikowski for 3.
Oh, there's a lot more life and much better execution in that offence following Steutel's timeout.
Pavel Kikowski is up to 9 points, all 3-pointers. Ricky McGill gives it into Neva. He hands it off to Scott Spencer. Scott Spencer's 3-point shot is short. Gornecki is going hard at the Eagles' defense. Lewandowski. Gornecki back in with the ball. James Washington, again, ball movement is good. And this time the finishes as well from Lewandowski.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say if that timeout from Steutel has given them the opportunity to refresh his players. Hey guys, we had good ball movements in the first half. Let's get back to that in this third quarter, and it's paying off for them a little bit. Gives them light at the end of the tunnel.
Great reply by the Eagles though, with Jordan Johnson driving hard and then pass it to Josh Ward-Hibbert, who was flashing from the baseline. And then Josh Ward-Hibbert, good defense at the other end, intercepting Lewandowski's pass.
Well, ball reversals like that are great, but not when a player's standing in the passing lane.
So Kikowski comes back out. Darius Hall comes on. Zelina GORA ball. Washington. Once again, Wojciech going in hard, but he can't make it. Scott Spencer takes the rebound.
Yeah, good defense from Neighbour there. I think probably even got a hand on the shot.
Slight differential in the shot clock, couple of seconds. Either way, but Ricky McGill's going to hold it as long as he can. I guess 12 points or 14 points or 15 points is better than like allowing them. And Ricky McGill shows his skill, and on the buzzer, on the 24-second buzzer, gets all the way at the basket, lays it in for two, and makes it a 14-point game in favour of the Eagles, who actually won that quarter. Just checking on this, yeah, actually won that quarter 24-14, and have obviously extended that 4-point advantage in half-time to a double-figure advantage.
Well, I won't go as far as to say the Eagles were totally dominant, but there's one thing we do know for certain, that the ZIELONA's Zora coach got extremely frustrated with his players, and it was really all about simple, basic execution. If that doesn't improve, this competition is over for them.
And here's the first two baskets of the quarter, both threes, one from Green, one from Whitfield, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the 10 minutes.
I mean, it's interesting that they came out of Coach Steutel's timeout much more determined than they did after their own timeout.
It's a good point, this is a great play. Signature play from Taj Green, the tomahawk slam. There's McGill on the buzzer, driving hard. This is the shot that I thought was like interesting, because Horn really didn't look like he wanted to shoot it, and then when he did, made it very comfortably.
That's been one of the problems. They've been very hesitant about taking wide open shots, and always want, credit sometimes for wanting to make the extra pass, but you make the extra pass if there's a better shot somewhere, not making a pass when you've already got a good shot yourself.
So we're about to get the final quarter of the final group game in the European North Basketball League. We know 7 of the quarter finalists. Group A all settled, and Group B still to be settled. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be, well, we know the Eagles are through, but are they going to finish 3rd or 4th? And will ZIELONA GORA get through as well? I suspect, with a record of 5-16 in the league, they're struggling to make their own playoffs, so this is probably their best chance of a good run in the competition this season.
Well, I can think of 3 things straight away if they're going to stay in this competition. Number 1, got to be better execution. Number 2, got to be better on-ball defence. And number 3, there's got to be better decision-making about the shots that they're taking.
So let's see if ZIELONA GORA answer Coach Eldigan's call. Washington, Gornecki, Wojciech, again, that was nice. That was exactly what Dave said. That was nice ball movement and great execution.
The execution was the key there. But they need another 9 minutes, 20 seconds of it.
witness, I'm not sure we've seen very much of Larry Austin Jr.
We haven't. I'm starting to wonder whether he's carrying an injury or is a player who coach is signalling that needs a little bit of break. But he had a good break, didn't he, with an injury spell.
Devin Whitfield has just come up with an offensive 2-point from inside the paint, and then a great defensive stand, and draws the charge.
Well, they may call the game a little bit differently in Europe, but I'm sure they don't allow this dropping of the shoulder that keeps letting ZIELONA GORA down. There's a number of players. And number 22, who's just come back on, is also using his free hand a lot to push up players. You just can't get away with those things in any league.
That's Kalodzai who's come back on. Will Neighbour. Devin Whitfield very active around the basket. Will Neighbour. Oh, what a great pass that was from Will Neighbour, but unfortunately Josh Warhibbert didn't finish it, but it was a lovely pass. Warnecki finds Kalodzai. He's going to go in strong, but great defense by Will Neighbour. Superb defense by Will Neighbour. Miguel Kalodzai it was. But Neighbour, excellent defense.
Yeah, I mean, any critic who says sometimes he's not aggressive enough, well, there's an answer for them.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been very aggressive tonight, coming back off injury, considering. So, 74-60, we've got a minute and 15. Washington, Warnecki, that's air ball.
Well, it's an overcomplicated move as well and was never going to come off. It was like a step forward, step back three, completely off balance.
McGill trying to split the defense.
I thought, was it is that Washington? Yeah, I thought Washington played really good defense there.
I think
great footwork.
I'd like to see a replay of this because I think it's going to be given as a jump ball because the two referees couldn't agree which way it was called. I'm not sure we're going to get a replay.
If you see a replay, you'll see some really good footwork on defense from Washington.
And they're going to actually. So what? Here we go.
Here we are. Watch his footwork there. Look, really getting after the player.
I think that came off Ricky McGill. That was what I was going to say originally, but you know. So what's happened is the Polish referee Paulina and John Paul got together, and they couldn't decide between them, so they called a jump ball. And then Ian MacDonald reminded everybody that we've got a video capability to replay it, and he decided he would go. And they're now watching it.
Fulfilling his role, isn't he, as the lead official?
Yeah. So
being very quiet for him tonight, I think.
We're just looking at it here again. You see Washington doing really well to block McGill's drive.
Really, so we use that right foot to block any attempt at all of the defensive player to split the defense.
Well, if I was given the decision, and this shows you how unbiased I am, I would give that ball to ZIELONA GORA. So I'm
find out whether you're right.
I'm wrong. Is it no? Are they pointing to ZIELONA GORA? Well, there you go. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? So they've obviously had an angle which we didn't have.
And we don't.
I don't think it was James Washington either. I think it was possibly Jan Wojciech. Just like he got in front after Washington caused McGill to take a different step.
And we don't have reviews in the British Basketball League.
Yeah. Where's VAR when you need it?
As long as having reviews doesn't take as long as VAR.
Well, that's a really difficult.
Well, you know, that was a really difficult shot. I'm in his favour. I'm thinking he saw the time left on the clock at the other end of the floor.
Yeah.
Against his favour, he had Will Naylor absolutely wide open.
Scott Spencer almost got it, tidied it up, but the buzzer went before he could put a shot up. Still a 14-point lead for the Eagles. We've played virtually 2 minutes of the final quarter. Washington gives the lob in to Wojciech, and he can't go up. Mark Steutel is delighted with his team's defence there.
Yeah, certainly is. Oh, he wants a review now. Well, that's what happens. Look at him waving his finger. That means a review, doesn't it?
No,
or is he saying, I want more ball? What's he saying?
Motion offense.
Okay, motion offense, okay.
Well, he didn't get much motion. Green brought it down, give it to Whitfield. Whitfield had the shot. Washington will shoot that one and makes it.
Now that is great offense because that gave he was set for the shot, and the moment the ball left the passer's hand, and there was no way at all could you stop that shot.
Will you believe that, Dave? That's Washington's first point of the game. He was 0-6 before that. He's now 1-7.
And where's our journeyman, AJ English?
I think the Eagles, you were talking about execution, the Eagles seem to have lost their way a little bit with their execution at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the one to look at the scoreboard, 14 up, 13 up, no, 11 up. That's not a lot when they've got 7:17 left on the game clock.
Just looking at the Eagles bench, Larry Austin is sitting right at the end of the bench, and he has got, it looks to me as if he's got a tracksuit top on almost, so I doubt whether he's coming back tonight. Ricky McGill for three is no good. Once again, the Eagles missed the shot. Paul takes the rebound. A chance here for ZIELONA GORA to cut it.
This could be their best chance. The Eagles in a little bit of a cold spell. This could be their best chance.
Washington calls for the screen, gets it, and the foul is by Ricky McGill. That'll be his third. Well, that's interesting because Will Neighbour hasn't long come back on, and he's gone back off, and he does look a little bit weary, I would suggest.
Well, the other thing as well is he hasn't threatened to take any shots or anything, has he?
Well,
so
I think he's just had the one since he came back on. He looks, he's certainly wiping the sweat off his face and looks a little bit tired, I would say.
Well, the most important thing is that he hasn't aggravated whatever the injury has been carrying for such a long time.
Washington, who seems to be picking nuts up. Miguel Kolodzai. Well, he's not happy with the pass, and it was one of those bounce passes that you've been talking about.
The problem was it was nearer to Taj Green than it was to his teammates.
Oh, and that's Lewandowski for three, I think. I think it's been given as a three, not as a two.
And more importantly than ever, it reduces the deficit to single digits.
Taj Green with a... Oh, well, there's the reply. And Taj Green, he, as I say, is having a game, 21 points personal.
Simple move. Crossover dribble, step back, no chance at all of blocking that shot.
Here's Washington from the corner, is no good, and Ricky McGill rises to the rebound. The Eagles are off and running. Well, I don't know whether McGill meant it. I don't think he meant to flick that onto Whitfield, but he did. Oh, look, great. What a great... I was going to say what a great assist, but unfortunately Delpesh missed the chippy.
The reverse layup from Delpesh wasn't anywhere near as good as McGill's drop pass.
Yeah, it was a brilliant pass. Kolodzai turns, shoots. It's fouled by McGill. That will be 4 on Ricky McGill.
That was smart play as well because he felt the contact and therefore he continued into shooting motion to put himself on the line. And this is the first quarter when the Eagles have led on the number of fouls committed. Only 2-1, mind.
Kolodzai goes to the line to shoot 2. Makes the first, takes him up to 8 points personal. He's worked really hard for his team tonight, that's Kolodzai. Makes them both. He uses a whistle.
Little mini good spell for ZIELONA GORA. At one point it looked like the Eagles were going to blow them out in the second half, and they've just clawed their way back. That green made it look like a better differential than there was, but they're now back to single digits.
Jordan Johnson's three rims out, and it's a 9-5 quarter so far for the for the visitors. Chance, it's 10 points the gap. Here's Kolodzai inside on Taj Green. Going to work, nice turnaround. Hook shot, 2 points for more for Kolodzai, who now goes into double figures. The second Polish player in double figures. Ricky McGill, the after foul. I think he gave Darius Hall a little bit of lip there as well when he got down. Third foul of the quarter for ZIELONA GORA. Hall's second personal. They were inbound. You can tell that Washington's been around a while. Taj Green from the corner is no good. And Dawson kicks. Kind of every time there's a contact, he throws his head back. Well, surely that's the trouble. Nope.
No, I don't think he was. I think that
he lost control.
He lost control of the ball, therefore.
Yeah. I was just
qualify
I was trying to play back my mind. I thought that's exactly what I thought.
He got a shade of luck when the ball bounced off Ward Hibbert.
He's lost. Yeah, he absolutely lost control. 4:40 to go. Gora back within 8 points. Oh, great steal. Combination of Green. Uh-oh, here we go. Taj Green. And I think that timeout was called by Derek as both Taj Green and Ricky McGill went over the halfway line. He knew what was coming. Eagles back up by 10, 4:28. And that's his last timeout.
Well, as we said before, there's no point keeping timeouts when the game's on the line. You're down 10, you're going to go out if you lose. 4:28 to go is still enough time. But that's typical of the decisions they've been making. They seem to be over-elaborating what looks like a simple plan.
We've still got 4:28 to go. It's a 10-point gap, but if the Eagles were to win this, it would mean that they've won all 3 of the home games in this competition, which would be, that's probably obviously what they were set out to do. I mean, if the Eagles finish 5-2 in the group, I think that's a magnificent achievement.
Oh, absolutely. And then in terms of looking for clues now with 4 minutes 20 minutes to go, I'm interested in the turnovers for each team.
I can let you know what that is exactly. They've had 22 assists and 13 turnovers. Funny enough, the Eagles have had the same amount of turnovers.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels that the Eagles have taken better care of the ball than they have.
Of course, the other thing as well is probably Derek's thinking that Steutel's got 2 timeouts left. That might help him out. But Steutel probably thinking he's not going to call a timeout unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, why give the opponents a chance? Unless, of course, you've got a bigger reason to create the need.
Eagles putting on a press. That's a foul by Josh Ward.
Well, he's going nowhere. We've got the defences running back to take away the route to the basket. Still, they've got 2 to give, but you don't want to give them in a situation like this when ZIELONA still have the time to get back in this game.
Yep. Well, this man's done it all tonight, hasn't he? He's got 23 points, 9 rebounds, and now he's got the mop out, cleaning the floor. Taj Green, ladies and gentlemen.
So he just wants 1 more rebound for a double-double.
1 more rebound for a double-double. And Johnson needs 1 more assist for a double-double. Washington finds Kikowski. This time he's missed. Del Press takes the rebound. Ricky McGill with the ball. Probably be under 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Kikowski.
McGill thinking about milking a little bit of time off the clock.
Missed the 3-pointer though. Nice pass by Washington.
He loves that bounce pass, doesn't he, Washington?
He really does, yeah. A 36-year-old, a 60-year career, professional career. He's probably done a lot of bounce passes. There's another bounce pass. Oh, great defense by Colodge, though. He came for an excellent return defense by Johnson. Two good defensive players there at both ends. Although you could say possibly bad offense as well, but I think the Eagles' offense was okay. It was
you can't score without the ball.
It's going to be a foul by Kwiatkowski. Given his end line.
He's already walking to the bench before they've finished administering the foul, and he's pushing him across court, which is good. Why would you then reach in with your hands when he's not even looking to attempt to drive to the basket?
So what you're saying there is the next coach that drives it down.
Absolutely it does.
John Paul Heron's gone off in more sail to more sweat. We're going to get the moisture. He's just checking. I think that Taz Green did clean up properly. Now he goes back to the other end. It's only an 8-point game, 3:13 to go. And green lights are flashing on the Polish side.
Yeah, that's probably the most important point to look at. It's only 8 points, and 3:13 is a long time.
The other thing as well is you've got to remember that Ricky McGill is on 4 fouls, and Larry Austin hasn't played in this quarter. Johnson's 3-point shot is off. Washington's off to the races. Wojciech's hands all over Ricky McGill inside. Oh, Taz Green. Taz Green, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go. Wow, what a play all the way. Brilliant defense. Lovely spin and a layup for 2.
Dare we say a sort of MVP type performance?
Well, you certainly can say it, because in this competition you get an MVP from both sides. So there you go. So I would think Taz Green's pretty much sealed it for the Eagles. I mean, the MVP, not the game, because it's still an 8-point game, because Darius Hall knocked a nice shot down at the other end. Eagles running the clock all the time. Johnson in amongst the trees again. Can't finish though. 2-minute warning is up. All is well. And that's a foul. I think the Polish side are thinking about time now.
Well,
they're not in the penalty yet, but they will be after that.
I think it almost feels like they want to get into the penalty to try and make this a long night.
What a play from Green there, though. He come from behind to steal the ball as Wojciech thought he was going to lay it up. And then on the halfway line, he spins 360 past his defender and then gets all the way to the basket and lays it in.
Yeah, simple little finger roll.
And he has now got, because of that, has got a rebound as well. So he now has a double-double of 25 points and 10 rebounds.
Well, these little nudges with arms and dropping shoulders are responsible for a fair percentage of these fouls that are being called tonight.
Well, again, we
don't see any need for them at all.
We've got an interesting situation, because the foul has been called on Jordan Johnson for doing exactly what Dave's just mentioned, dropping his arm, dropping his shoulder. And now they're going to review it, because I'm not sure they're going to review whether it was a foul or whether they're going to review Washington's action after the foul. So there's...
Oh, just taking the ball away from him.
Yeah. I think that's what John Paul Heron's come across for. I mean, if you look at the foul, he does drop his arm, but the reaction of Washington, well, that's way, way after, and it was on the arm, and Washington's holding his face. Just watch this again. So he's coming in. Here we go.
Come on, man, gotta move on.
Clearly hits him. Oh, well,
yeah,
he does.
Yeah, he does the elbow, isn't it?
The elbow in the face. Washington does make rather a lot of it.
So are they looking at the elbow, or are they looking at Washington's response? We'll soon find out.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike foul has now been called on Jordan Johnson. 2 shots in possession. Thought Washington's was a bit of an overreaction, but then again, you can't put an elbow in somebody's face. So he makes both of these. Oh, he's missed the first. I was going to say it would have been a 6-point game. He still make one. Could be a 7-point game, and then they have possession to make it either a 5 or a 4-point game. And 147 is a long time in basketball. Washington steadies himself and does make the second. They will get possession at the sideline. It's a 7-point game with 147 to go.
Well, from the point of view of the Eagles need a stop here so that this doesn't close any further, and they need good execution. Doesn't have to be a 3.
AJ English is back on. You were asking where he was before. James Johnson puts up the 3, and it's no good. So Eagles not only get the stop, it took them 14 seconds
off the clock.
Off the clock as well. And McGill's going to hold this, I think, as long as he can as well.
Well, McGill knows they're in the penalty. Why not have an easy look if you can and kill the chocolate at the same time?
Great pass. Once again, Mark Steutel spills the ball. James Washington for 3 is no good, and Taj Green pulls the rebound in, and we're inside the last minute, and it's a 7-point game.
That was a huge rebound.
Well, I don't know if we'll get a replay on this, but if we do get a replay, as a commentator, we're told to be neutral, but how is this not a foul?
Well, I think that's a jump ball.
Well, you don't think there was a foul before?
No, I don't. I think that was a jump ball.
Well, there you go. That's why it's not a foul, ladies and gentlemen. I will go with Coach Sheldrick. He's been in this game at a higher level much longer than me. So he thinks good call, and it's ZIELONA ball. 50.1, 81-74. They really can't afford to take too much time off the clock. AJ English going all the way. Taj Green trying to take the charge, but English does well to finish. Now a 5-point game.
Yeah,
and this time it is a foul.
Yes, because they just simply couldn't afford to allow that much time to go off the clock. So this is where you reveal Taj Green's free throw percentage.
Well, I should do, yes, you're right.
But it's Ricky McGill on the line, so it's not Taj Green.
Ricky McGill. Well, it's going to be another review. John Paul Harron and Ian McDonald seem to like this machine. Look at Mark Steutel's reaction. He said, I'll just have a seat down.
So what are we reviewing? We should be able to tell the viewers, but I don't think we know.
I think the reviewing is to see whether it was an unsportsmanlike foul. The question is, did he make a play on the ball? So we've just seen it there. It doesn't really look as he does make a play on the ball. If they're going to be consistent, I would suspect it's just a normal foul.
Yeah, I would have given that as a common foul.
Yeah.
Either way, the Eagles are getting 2 shots because they're in the penalty. Pretty much their last chance gone now if he makes these. This is where you tell us that McGill's about a 90% free throw shooter.
He's 77%.
Oh my goodness, he's not living up to his 3-point percentage then, is he? Oh,
there you go. It's the second. 82-76, so it's a 6-point game. Kalodzai for 3 in the corner, that was important. Oh, great work by AJ English, and it's Washington in the corner. He's no good, but put back was by Wojciech. The clock didn't stop, so we're going to have to go and sort the clock out now. Fans aren't happy about this, but if they're not sure about something and they've got a replay, why not use it?
That's why you have a replay, isn't it? That's why you have that's why you have the review procedure. If we have it in, then it has to be used.
20 seconds, I would say, when that ball was tipped into the basket. 20.3, I would say.
I was thinking it was more 19-ish.
I'm going for 20.1.
I'm going for 19.3.
It's 19 exactly. So 0.9 of a
so
second.
I'm nearer than you. What's the prize?
Well, actually, Stu said 19 now. So, it's Howard Leighton tells everybody to get on their feet. As professional commentators, we don't do that, but I'll have to slap and see.
We watch the monitor.
Yeah. Oh, no. Ricky McGill, a running three-pointer, a circus shot. It goes in, but has been disallowed because the referee called a foul before the shot, or just as the shot was taken. So now they're just saying, if you're going to... No, she's just going to give shots. So 15.1. So it was a running three-point shot by Ricky McGill. I think we're going to see it on replay, are we? No. McGill's going to the line to shoot 2 anyway. Mark Steutel clearly unhappy with the call. There we go. No, we're going to go back to Ricky McGill to shoot 2.
What about this one?
Makes the first. That makes it a 5-point game. He makes the second. Clock didn't start there, but Haslett, AJ English from way downtown doesn't make it. Wojciech, though, excellent putback,
for the
offensive
second
rebound.
time in this last minute, he's grabbed an offensive rebound and kept them in the game.
Charles Green's going to have to get this ball in quickly because the time's been counted down. Devin Whitfield gets the ball over halfway to Ricky McGill. Ricky McGill, great dribbling by McGill. Washington finally catches up with him with 2.2 seconds and fouls him. 4 points the gap. Well, I'm going to call it now, Dave. So this means the Eagles will finish with a 5-2 record in this qualifying group. And without being disrespectful to the organisation, the first time in Europe to have a 5-2 record in a tough competition, including a win over Liège of Belgium, and beating this Polish side as well, who are 5 times their national champions in Poland. And to finish 3rd in the group, that's a great achievement.
Yeah, and we keeps the dream alive. We've got now another game. We're going to be busy again. Hopefully we go all the way with the team.
Yeah. So he's made the board. English shoots from halfway, misses, and it's the Newcastle serious group. Newcastle Eagles 86, ZASTAL ZIELONA GORA 80. So GORA go out, Liège go into 4th place. They will go to Lithuania to play Juventus, and the Eagles finish 3rd in the group, and they will play back in Bears of Denmark. They are 2-legged quarterfinals as well, home and away obviously. Yeah. So that should be a really exciting time for everybody in this club.
So just reflecting on the game, I think that the Eagles were the better team overall. Shaded it for most of the game. They had some spells when they weren't comfortable with the way they're playing, but they deserved the win. Polish team threatened at times, but never really delivered, and I think we've ended up here with the right result, and we certainly now look forward to more European ENBL action at the Virtue Motors Arena.
And just to pick out, I mean, we see some highlights going on, and this is the man for me. So I'm looking at for MVPs for the Eagles. It has to be Taj Green with 25 points, 11 rebounds and 3 assists. And for STELMET, ZASTAL, ZIELONA, GORA, we have Jan Wojciech has 16 points, 7 rebounds and 6 assists. So I would suspect he'll be the man who will get the MVP. Just been announced. Yeah, so it has been just announced that 25 Jan Wojciech gets the MVP, and he's brought to halfway line to get his well, we have to have the photograph. Taj Green gets it for the Eagles, 25 and 11. Photographers are waiting to see. But it's been a fantastic European campaign for Newcastle so far. It will continue into the quarter-finals. Back in Bears. Now, Dave, we talked about this at half-time. Eagles actually have played back in Bears before in a pre-season competition. But that, of course, was when the Eagles played at the Sports Centre at the Newcastle, Northumbria University. So, although back in Bears will know Newcastle, they won't know this arena.
So the simple fact here is we're 3-0 at home.
That's right.
So I think that's a big statement, because sometimes they've come off a loss in the British Basketball League and disappointed, but not in Europe, which is important. They've also had some valuable experience. I mean, Coach Steutel often addresses the VIPs before the games and tells them about all the issues they have to do when they go away, travelling arrangements, different diets and all stuff like this. So fantastic achievement. You've waited a long time for this, but 5-2 speaks for itself, and we please you going forward, and good luck when you get to the playoff stage.
Yeah, and just to finish off on that as well, Dave, you talked about the schedule. Of course, they've got the longest trip of the season to Plymouth on Friday. So there's no rest for this Newcastle side, really, is it? And look at Taj Green on there. I don't know if the cameras can get on Taj Green on the floor. He looks absolutely out on his feet. He's laying down there, and he's on his photograph. The cameras, yeah, he's taking his shoes off now. But a great night for Taj Green. He possibly hasn't been in the best of form in the last couple of weeks, but he played well on Sunday down in Manchester, and he certainly was the star of the show tonight.
Well, if you think about it from his perspective, it's a very different situation when he's not playing with what he refers to as the three-headed snake. Yeah. In other words, there is more opportunities for the forwards, but you don't want to take anything away from those three guards. They have their own way of doing things, and very often it's very effective, and it is part of the Eagles' makeup, and this is something obviously that Coach Steutel's got to manage.
Yeah, just looking at, as you said, we look across from it. Ricky McGill played 36 minutes. Larry Austin Jr. only played 7 minutes. George Johnson played 33 minutes, and George Johnson. So Ricky McGill 13 points. Jordan Johnson 14 points. But as we say, Taj Green the standout, 25 points, 11 rebounds. So the Eagles make a 5-2 record, 86-80 on the night. ZASTAL ZIELONA GORA will go a long way home, knowing their season in Europe is over. They'll have to concentrate on domestic. But the Eagles, they've got not just domestic business to look forward to, they've got European. For myself, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And Dave, final word?
Yeah, think so, that it was well earned. Great experiences. It's good experience for the club as well in terms of all the things you have to manage with this, and we're very much looking forward to the playoff stage.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club in your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
Sirius Group Newcastle Eagles live in the ENBL. Brought to you by Sirius Group and Newcastle International Airport.
Is why